Good evening and welcome to the Newshour Agenda. I'm Madhavdas G. Viewers, the face-off over official Bungalow has been reignited, with former Union Minister Smriti Irani vacating her MP's Bungalow after her loss in the Lok Sabha polls from Amethi. She left the house earlier this week. But politics on this has only started now because there were no cameras, no spectacle and no presence of media persons outside when she vacated the house. It was only noticed when the nameplate, which used to be outside her house, was no longer seen. Contrast this with Rahul vacating his house last year after the disqualification from the lower house following his conviction from a Surat court. There were cameras which were all, of course, carefully crafted. There were shots that were all done in full media presence. Rahul, after handing over the keys, spoke to the media and claimed that the house was snatched from him because he spoke the truth against the government. Now, referring to Rahul's Bungalow episode, Congress has targeted Smriti Irani. The party hurled karma is real as a jibe on the former Amethi MP while reminding Smriti Irani of her comments when Rahul Gandhi was asked to leave his official house. They say that Smriti Irani should take a lesson from this, that she should not be arrogant. Let's first listen to what Rahul had said when he vacated his house and Smriti's jibe at him at that point of time.
और सच्चाई बोलने की कीमत है आजकल मैं कीमत चुकाता जाऊंगा जो भी कीमत है मैं चुकाऊंगा 19 साल में यहाँ रहा हूँ अब मुझसे छीन लिया गया ठीक है कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है
आप लगातार बेरोजगारी महंगाई का मुद्दा उठा रहे हैं
मैं उसको दुगना उठाऊंगा और जोरों से उठाऊंगा क्योंकि देखिए वो सच्चाई है और वो किसी ना किसी को तो बोलनी पड़ेगी मैं बोल रहा हूँ
कांग्रेस का कहना है कि जल्दबाजी क्या है कि हम उनका घर खाली कराने में लगे हैं तुरंत नोटिस
घर उनका नहीं है जनता का है देखिए कांग्रेस पार्टी इस बात की आदी हो चुकी है कि जैसे अमेठी में गरीब नागरिकों की जमीन हड़प ली वैसे ही आज देश की राजधानी में टैक्स पेयर का मकान हड़प लेंगे
मेरा घर पूरा हिंदुस्तान है
Let's now listen to Congress leaders who say that Smriti's arrogance has now been crushed.
See, Smriti Irani ji has lost the Amethi Lok Sabha elections with a heavy margin, and because of which she had to vacate her government-allotted bungalow, and she has vacated the bungalow also. And this is something which we call karma. She was the same person who was making statements an year ago about Rahul Gandhi ji and the bungalow issue, and now she had to vacate the bungalow. This is a lesson to all of us that there shouldn't be any place or space for arrogance.
आज समय अपने आप को दोहरा रहा है। स्मृति ईरानी जी ने राहुल गांधी जी के घर खाली करने पे बयान दिया था कि वो जनता का घर है, उनका नहीं। आज जनता का घर स्मृति ईरानी जी ने भी खाली किया है। हम इतना ही सुझाव देंगे स्मृति ईरानी जी को कि कभी अहंकार मत करिए, उनका अहंकार अमेठी की जनता ने तोड़ा है।
The BJP, however, said that vacating the house after losing polls is part of the process and shouldn't be politicized.
जिसमें आत्मसम्मान होता है, स्वाभिमान होता है, खुद पे गर्व होता है, वो सरकारी बंगला खाली करने के लिए नोटिस का इंतजार नहीं करते और उसके बाद चिल्लाते नहीं है हाय मेरा घर खाली करवा लिया। आहा, एंटाइटलमेंट नहीं है तब भी प्रियंका गांधी की तरफ सिक्योरिटी के नाम पे 20-20 साल मुफ्त के बंगले में नहीं रहते। ना एमपी थी ना कुछ थी तब भी 8 साल 10 जनपद पे नहीं रहते। एंटाइटलमेंट है ना।
Congress has stooped to the new law. B.B. Srinivas has related the routine administrative matter of vacating a bungalow by Smriti Irani ji to karma. The real karma is haunting them by making them sit for the third time in the opposition.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's take this across to our guest now. Joining us live, we have Lutyens Delhi national spokesperson of the BJP. Dr. Anand Ranganathan is an author with us. Tehseen Poonawalla, political analyst, joins us, as is Vivek Srivastav, political analyst. Also with us is Tariq Khan, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Let me ask you first and foremost, Tehseen Poonawalla, if this is all part of the natural process, all parties, all politicians win and lose elections, why politicize someone's leaving of a bungalow?
At the onset, let me wish the ex-Union Minister and ex-Member of Parliament all the best in her journey henceforth. You're right, Madhav, it's part of the process. You win some, you lose some. Whatever it is, I personally don't stand up for her politics, the kind of language and statements she makes. But she's lost, she's moved on in time, and wish her the best in life in the future. I'm actually surprised. I mean, I didn't even know who this gentleman, some random guy somewhere you got, and he now says that he makes a statement and suddenly that becomes national news. And I'm not blaming you. It's a statement from Congress.
Sir,
I believe he's from Congress.
It is the chief of the Youth Congress. Mr. B.V. Srinivas is somebody who you have cited as far as his track record during Corona helping people. If he posts that this is karma, then please, it's not a random guy. Let's not call him that. Tehseen, you know Srinivas as well as anyone else does.
I was saying, no. BV, of course. I thought the guy whose bite you showed, so I didn't know who he was. Srinivas, yes. But, yeah, I mean, I think there is some amount of bitterness in politics. The ex-union ministers also made some atrocious statements about Mr. Gandhi, which was not really in good taste. About Mrs. Gandhi in Parliament, which is frowned upon very badly when Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary made a statement about the President of India. She went after Mrs. Gandhi. So I think there's bitterness. It is not done. And just one statement about the BJP spokesperson on Mrs. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. She was an SPG protectee. Even today, even as of now, Madhav, Mrs. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra enjoys Z++ security with NSG cover and ASF. It's the same security the Honorable Home Minister and Defence Minister of India enjoy. To compare somebody who's lost her father and grandmother to simple politics, I think does not behove the BJP. And I think that's where it is. Both sides don't want to hold back their punches, but I wish the ex-union minister all the best, and I hope every 10%
Let me get into Tuhin Sinha on that. Tuhin Sinha, there's a lot of bitterness, there's a lot of acrimony. We've seen that inside Parliament. Perhaps that's not desirable, says Tehseen Poonawalla, but that's how things are when it comes to politics. Please respond to him.
Well, good evening, Madhav. Good evening, everybody. First of all, my compliments to Smriti Irani Ji. She has shown a lot of dignity, a lot of propriety today in the way she, in the dignified manner in which she vacated the bungalow in stipulated time. Now, if you compare it with the Congress party, who have been habitual squatters in Lutyens Delhi for a very long time, then obviously the difference is very stark. Unlike Rahul Gandhi, who played the victim ad nauseum, where as per law, he was disqualified after conviction by the Surat court, he should ideally have, vacated the bungalow with as much alacrity. But I think, it is not confined to just one case. Look at the difference in culture between the BJP and the Congress party. I remember in 2019, when Sushma Ji, had ceased to be a member of parliament, she in fact also immediately vacated the bungalow within a few weeks. Arun Jaitley Ji, who was critically ill in May 2019, refused to be a minister without portfolio. And on the other hand, you can see that Arvind Kejriwal, for most part of his tenure as CM, enjoyed the benefits of chief minister without holding any portfolio. Now, you have seen how Arvind Kejriwal, who at one point of time would say he would never take an official bungalow, actually went on to invest some 50 lakhs in his bungalow, that also at the peak of the COVID crisis. You have seen how Jagan Reddy, broke all environmental laws to build his palatial bungalow in
50 lakhs, have you forgotten the full amount, sir?
There is a difference in culture between BJP's Seva.
Tuhin Sinha, it wasn't 50 lakhs.
Sorry?
It wasn't 50 lakhs. I think you've forgotten to add about 3 or 4 zeros behind that amount.
Madhav, may I make a point?
I'm talking about Arvind Kejriwal.
Yes, it was close to 500 crores. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Times Now had done the... since Times Now had done the expose, you would be in the best position to know the exact figure. But that is where I'm telling you the stark difference in culture between the BJP and the Congress party. For BJP, it is Seva. For us, the official privileges cease to exist when that official position ceases to exist. But for the Congress party, it's all about self-aggrandizement. I will give you just 2 more examples. A few years ago, the Supreme Court had passed a ruling where they had asked all political parties to move out their offices from Lutyens Delhi. Only BJP did that. The Congress party still enjoys a bungalow in Lutyens Delhi for its office.
Okay.
There were around 1,500 squatters from the Congress ecosystem, Congress and left ecosystem, whom we made, we made them vacate the bungalow after 2014 that included artists like Jatin Das, who had nothing to do, to deserve a bungalow in Lutyens Delhi.
Okay. Let me bring in Tehseen on that point. Tehseen, is the love for Lutyens bungalows that continues to keep Congress and its leaders within Lutyens Delhi, and that's what's reflected over here in this fight. Even your party office, despite various orders, as Tuhin says, has not been moved from central Delhi, from Lutyens Delhi. Please respond to what Tuhin said.
Let's assume the Congress party is in contempt of court. Let's begin with an assumption. So who's in government? Who's the Home Minister of the country? Who's supposed to enforce court? The Honorable Chief Justices and the Honorable Judges won't come down to enforce it.
That's a little unfair. That's a little unfair. If somebody's being a squatter, don't blame the government for not enforcing the law.
No, I'm not blaming the government.
I think the primary responsibility is on the person who moves or doesn't move.
I agree with you.
Let's be a little fair.
I agree with you. I actually agree with you. But since the BJP spokesperson said they've been squatters, I'm assuming there's contempt of court. If there's contempt of court, he'll surely have an order passed against the Congress. If there's an order and the Congress is still squatting, it is for the Home Ministry to clear them. So clearly, either there is no order passed, in my opinion, and I know for a fact no order is passed, so he's making a statement that is random. Yes, there is a Supreme Court judgment. There's no order passed. If there is, the Home Minister's failed in making them leave. That's the first point. Let's leave this out and let's come to Rahul Gandhi. Please, let's come to Rahul Gandhi. Two things are said. Rahul Gandhi played victim. Actually, he didn't. Rahul Gandhi was suspended. The government is on record, asked him to continue to stay till his suspension from the Supreme Court. The finality came. Rahul Gandhi still chose to walk off. He's calling that playing victim. Priyanka, I know for a fact what happened. We were in the middle of COVID. I know because we were all very worried with how she would manage. We know there was some family issue. And yet in the middle of COVID, Priyanka left. Hardeep Puri is on record saying no, she can continue for the next 2-3 months. She refused. She said, no, Honorable Minister. It's on record tweet. She said, we will leave. You asked us to leave. We will leave. This is somebody who has the same security the Honorable Home Minister of India owns, and her father's a martyr. They have no explanation except vague statements, silly statements. Now I'm challenging you. Show me a court order against Congress that says you should vacate and Congress is still on there. And if they are, what is the Home Minister doing? Show it now or apologize.
Two points that we for you to respond to. Show the court order. Show the court order, and that the action that was taken on Priyanka Gandhi was purely political despite the security concerns. Both the points. Please respond.
No,
she's staying in an apartment now.
Madhav, I mentioned about the Supreme Court ruling many years ago. The words that I used was that Supreme Court ruling many years ago. So, I didn't mention the order, but the fact is they have contempt for the Supreme Court shows. Are they waiting for the law to be enforced? When the law is enforced, when the tax authorities go after them, then they are the first people to cry victim. You remember what happened on the eve of elections when the tax authorities asked them to, pay their dues. They played victim again ad nauseum. So I think they should respect the Supreme Court verdict way back 7-8 years ago instead of waiting for orders, asking them to move out of the property. Priyanka Gandhi, in the first place, does not deserve a bungalow in Lutyens Delhi. Is there any logic that says that, Z security compliance requirements can only be fulfilled in a bungalow on Lodi Estate? Is there no other place in Delhi where that compliance can be fulfilled? I think this is bizarre. She overstayed in that bungalow any which way which she did not deserve.
Okay. Now let me bring in others now. They've been waiting very patiently. Many hands going up one by one, please. Let me bring in Vivek Srivastava on this simple point. Vivek Srivastava, the two photos that are there, the videos are there before us of Smriti Irani vacating the bungalow and of Rahul Gandhi. One, there's a lot of media fanfare, a lot of media hype. One, there isn't.
Yes.
What do those pictures tell us, sir?
Right. Now, first of all, the BJP spokesperson is speaking very immaturely today when he's saying, why is Priyanka Gandhi living in the Lodi estate? I have lived in Pandara Road in the same Lutyens Delhi for years because my father was in defense and we were allotted a bungalow there. And there were many politicians who were allotted places over there because that is the safest high security zone somebody can get. Her grandmother was killed by Khalistani militants. Her father was killed by Tamil militants who wanted a separate Tamil elam. Do you know this, that the entire family was under threat? You know nothing. And you're talking in air. And which bungalow she gets and which she does not, it is for the government to decide as per her security. It is not that Priyanka Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi go and say, Bhaiya, humko to ye wala bungalow chahiye, yahi chahiye humko. It doesn't work this way. So learn to talk with maturity when it comes to issues of national security and peoples and family who have sacrificed for this nation. Number two, when Rahul Gandhi ji was, when the Surat court ruling came, there was jubilation in the BJP camp. They were trying hard to show that, look, it is such a major victory for us. We have finished Rahul Gandhi forever. The Congress is gone. The opposition is never going to be united. When he was leaving the bungalow, पूरा media खड़ा हुआ था वहां पे ड्रामा करने के लिए. That is what was happening. And then you were making vague comments about him. The court ruling was overturned. He went back into the parliament. And shamelessly, the way the BJPites were talking at that moment about Sri Rahul Gandhi and the other leaders, it is not done. Smriti Irani should remain in her limits. It is okay. Yes, I do agree. It's a part of life. You lose, you win. And once you lose, you have to vacate it out. But then let the rules be equal. Let the rules be equal.
Okay.
Do not try to jeer people.
Dr. Ranganathan, this jeering, this gloating is not correct, says Vivek Srivastava. It's part of the process. And let's be mindful about the fact that there are serious security concerns. Dr. Ranganathan.
पहली बात तो माय गुड कॉमरेड फ्रेंड विवेक इस डिबेट में क्यों है समझ में नहीं आ रहा. लेफ्ट के पास तो उतने एमपी ने, जेएनयू में अकोमोडेशन मिलनी चाहिए. लटियंस की दूर की बात है. विवेक यू वांट टू कम एंड स्टे इन जेएनयू, यू बी माय गेस्ट. नो,
ये बात आप नीतीश कुमार को भी बोल दीजिए ना. हमारे उनके बराबरी के हैं.
अच्छा
हमारे उनके लगभग बराबरी के हैं.
अरे थोड़ा मजाक.
चिराग पासवान को भी बोल दीजिए हट जाए सर. आरएलडी को भी बोल दीजिए हट जाए सर.
It's okay. Vivek, he was saying it on a lighter note. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, let him make his point.
I was saying it on a lighter note, as Spike Milligan said, sense of humor is no laughing matter, and communists don't have any sense of humor. Vivek, come on, lighten up, yaar. Who knows, next Lok Sabha, you might win 5 MPs. It's okay, cheer up. Now, Madhav, I wanted to make 2 points very quickly. Number one, it is entirely befitting, in fact, Smriti Irani's personality and character that she's done what she's done, vacated it without any hue and cry. This is what we've come to expect of that brave lady. So kudos to her. I remember in one of the interviews, I think in Times Now, she said that she's, she doesn't care about all these entitlements and all these things because she's grown up, in fact, on the footpath. If I'm not mistaken, her father used to sell books on a footpath, and she said herself that she's grown up on the footpath. So, this is not something that the Congress does automatically. It is visceral for the Congress to think of enlightenment. Now,
you have the wrong information.
Vivek, please don't interrupt. This is very unbecoming. Yeah, come on, Vivek. I know you're a communist and under
information hai, sir. Sir,
कौन सी गलत
information? आप इनको fact check कर दीजिए. Let him finish, then you can fact check. I'll give you a turn to fact check him.
Which wrong information? Which wrong information? Which wrong information?
Acha, one small question. As a professor and as an academician, were you satisfied when a person with this kind of a qualification that Smriti Irani had was made the Minister HRD? And were you satisfied by her working as an academician? Because I really respect you, Dr. Ranganathan.
So what is the fact check here?
You are a very neutral guy, very intelligent, and you contribute to this nation.
What is the fact check here?
No. I'm just trying to ask him.
You said there's a fact check.
उनको उठाया गया था, आप खुश थे?
Now, Madhav, shall I continue or shall I answer?
Please, continue.
Okay, so number 2, this is very important. I must commend Tehseen, my good friend. He's been right on 8 out of 10 points he's made, which is great. I mean, is a huge success. Now, let me tell you the 2 points he didn't mention. Yes, he's absolutely right that Miss Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is an SPG protectee. So yes, and Vivek is also right that the Lutyens zone, Bungalow zone, is the most secure zone in India, in fact. So it makes sense for her to be given a bungalow there. But the fact of the matter is, for 8 months, Tehseen also knows she lost the SPG cover. It was replaced by CRPF, and there she did not only not vacate her bungalow. If what Tehseen doesn't mention is that she extracted from the then Prime Minister earlier, Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, to reduce her rent by 80%. So let's not talk about entitlement, Tehseen. And finally, to my good friend Tuhin, yes, he is right about talking, about entitlement of Congress. But then I ask Tuhin, BJP reduced the rent of Priyanka's bungalow. BJP has given her the bungalow. So if you talk about entitlement, Tuhin, you are as much responsible for giving them that entitlement than Congress, yeah?
Respond to that. Respond to that, Tuhin.
I'm not aware of the rent because, Mr. Ranganathan follows the rent details very closely. So I'll have to verify on the rent part because I'm not aware of the rent that she's paying at this point of time. If you have factual information, Madhav, maybe you can help me with the rent figure.
Okay, I think Tehseen wants to comment on the...
I remember that. Madhav, I'll tell you why I remember that. Because Priyanka Vadra got the rent reduced by 80%, 85% to a figure of 8888. Which is a
shocking. That's shocking. That's shocking. Is that true, Tehseen? 80% reduction.
Yes.
80% reduction.
True,
why?
Please, Anand is right.
Thank you,
Anand is right.
Thank
But
you.
please,
Thank you.
Anand is right, but please allow me to explain. It's a little complex. Please allow me, and I won't speak after this event. It's right, Priyanka was given a house by Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. Let's be very clear on it. She didn't go, Vivek's right, she didn't go selecting house. She was an SPG protectee. Having said that she was an SPG protectee, she said, look, I don't need a house. I don't need an SPG protection. It was mandatory for SPG protectees to have this house. Therefore, she said, why are you giving me house? And therefore, that rent was reduced. That's number 2. Number 3, Anand is also right. Her SPG protection was taken away 8 months ago. But at that time, the law did not exist that she vacate the house. When the law was changed, that CRPF, Z+, ASL security don't get the house, she was asked to vacate in the middle of COVID. I just want to tell you viewers one last thing before I end. She's today staying in an apartment. I want you viewers to understand she's staying in an apartment. Somebody who's get the same level of protection as the Home Minister of India and the Defense Minister of India is in an apartment. Now, you know the security risk. She's not even in central Delhi. There is a severe security risk. If she wasn't, I appeal to the government to withdraw her security. She's got the same level of security as Amit Shah ji. She's staying in a private apartment. She's staying in her apartment. Look at the politics the BJP is doing, and they're coming here and waxing eloquence. You're playing with people's lives. She has young kids. It's unfair, and she was made to shift during COVID. Even if she was staying there 8 months ago and COVID was on, humanitarian law requires you. You don't ask somebody to vacate during COVID in lockdown. She did that.
Okay.
I think the BJP is as shameless as they get.
Okay, Tuheen, quick response on that as well, please. And then I go across to Tariq Khan.
You know, Madhav, I can just reassure you that the security consideration will not be compromised for anybody. In fact, our track record in security is way better than the Congress government's. So if you know, the security, if the security personnel feel that the place where she's staying is well equipped for her safety, that, you know, we need not necessarily shift her to only one specific bungalow. But I can assure you that the security consideration will not be compromised for anybody in the Z plus, especially for somebody in the Z or Z plus category.
All right. Let me bring in Mohammad Tariq Khan. Mohammad Tariq Khan, do you agree with the use of the word karma in this context? Because, you know, using karma for the loss of an election, which, you know, even your party leaders would have gone through, there are ups, there are downs. Is it correct?
I believe history repeats itself, and Smriti Irani always use harsh language against other. So now this is a public property and you have to leave it. Once you ask Rahul Gandhi, it's not your house, it's public's house. Now it's also a public house. One important thing I want to mention that means whom you are going to give this home once it has been vacated. Now the ministers who has already sworn in, they are waiting at guest house. So whether you are going to these house to us or the people who are in opposition, these houses are going to allocate it to the ministers. That's why the whole procedure is that the MPs or the minister who had lost, they have to vacate the house, and the same house has to be given to the other minister of the same cadre. So you are not going to give us to the opposition people or clergy or some other. So it's the procedure, and it has to be given to the people who are in power. So it's we are nowhere, because they are waiting in the guest houses that please do the procedure as soon as possible. There is a deadline of 30 days.
Mr. Tariq, I'm getting a little confused. Are you saying it's a good move or a bad move? I'm getting a bit confused. What are you saying? It's good, it's bad, it should happen, should not happen?
It's nothing to... It's nothing to do. It's a procedure. These houses are being vacated for the ministers of the government.
Okay.
We have nothing to do with that.
So if it's a procedure,
they are in hurry
BJP
because your minister, government minister, are waiting for the house, that the house has been vacated.
Agreed with you 100%. So now this is what the BJP is saying. Mr. Tariq Khan, 1 second. Listen to me. This is what the BJP is saying. BJP is saying if that is indeed the case, then why was there so much of song and dance when Mr. Rahul Gandhi vacated his bungalow? Why was he then saying this is because I'm speaking truth against the government, that I will continue my battle? Why was there so much of political rhetoric around him leaving his house if that is a routine procedure?
Let me respond. 5 seconds, let me respond. Do we really ask media person to don't highlight this vacation of Smriti Irani, or do we really ask Rahul ji to highlight the things which happened to Rahul ji? Now it's up to you. It's up to you, media channels, to highlight something or to de-highlight something. We were nowhere in that picture, in those things also. If you will highlight it, we'll debate on that. Today you have started debating, we are here, we are debating. Tomorrow also you will highlight. We'll also come debate the same thing. It's up to you, it's not we are not the decision.
Anand Ranganathan, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, it's the media that highlights or does not highlight something, and therefore this is a debate only because the media has picked it up. Is that indeed the case?
I need to make a more substantive point because I think it's very important we're having this debate. I want to talk about the fact that why is it that still 75 years after independence, we have tens of thousands of acres of prime property of the capital of the Republic of India held to ransom by these politicians. Number one, yes, agreed that they need protection, they need SPG protection. But why should tens of thousands of acres be reserved for them? Number two, when Tehseen talks about, yes, it is important, can I please ask him why only one Congress Prime Minister has not been given those hundreds of acres as a final resting place, Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao? Tehseen, you need to answer that.
Tehseen.
We are discussing houses, not resting places. But I do think that the BJP, which has been in power now for 11 years, and prior to that 6 years, so that's 17 years of the last 25 years, should also answer why Narasimha Rao ji and ex-Prime Minister did not get a resting place. So look, I think this is now, after 25 years, in the last 25 years, you have 17 years of BJP. You still blame Congress for everything. I think we now need to put a pause to that. Who gives Priyanka Gandhi a house? Vajpayee ji. Who reduces the rent? Vajpayee ji. Who takes away her security? Modi ji. Who do you blame? Modi ji. How long are you going to make Congress victim? Supreme Court gives an order when BJP is in power. BJP doesn't enforce the order. Congress to be blamed. And if the BJP resigned, make Rahul Gandhi Prime Minister, make me Home Minister, see how orders will be enforced.
Okay.
Every day you will be debating. And
almost out of time, so quickly. Dr. Ranganathan, very quickly,
please. Every day you will be debating. I'm the toughest Home Minister.
Okay, you made your point, Tehseen. Dr. Ranganathan.
No, I think Tehseen audio got switched off because he knows the last question I posed was actually to Tuheen. Because it is the BJP that allowed Priyanka to overstay or, reduce the rent. So that question was posed to Tuheen. So I'm not saying that BJP ki koi galti nahi hai. That's point is, Tehseen, do you agree or do you not agree that this kind of prime land is being...
Narasimha Rao ji has come up.
Yes. Yes, Tuheen.
Go on, Tuheen.
Since the issue of Narasimha Rao ji has come up, let me tell you that the party which has given him Bharat Ratna will perhaps also give him in future the right resting place in Delhi. But look at the shamelessness of the Congress party. They still seem to be washing off their hands of Narasimha Rao. They still don't seem to attach the kind of respect which Narasimha Rao deserves.
All right. I think we've gone a long way from Rahul Gandhi, Smriti Irani to Priyanka Gandhi. Now we reach Narasimha Rao. And before we reach Nehru, I think I'll have to wrap up this debate. I'd like to thank all our panelists for joining us this evening. Dr. Ranganathan, of course, and Tehseen, and as well as Vivek Srivastava will stay with us for debate number 2 as well.